I finished the second pocket, so I have 2 pockets now, and this is how my skirt looks. I didn't finish the center back yet, so it's open. We iron both, we press both pockets to the front side. Like this is how it looks from the inside. Next, normally with this type of skirt, we need a zipper on the back. So we imagine that we have zipper here. For now, we don't know how to make how to attach the zipper, so we'll just leave a little bit open and imagine that we have zipper. So what we have to do, we have to finish the center back here and here with zigzag, and then beautiful side to beautiful side we pin beginning and end and between them, and then we let's mark where we have the zipper. For example, this will be the place for zipper, so we only go with straight stitch from here till the end, and this is an opening for our zipper. So this is my final result. I went with zigzag, 2 layers separate, and I went with straight stitch till my mark. Then you have to press it, all the layers together, and now we press it flat like this, and seam allowances go to separate parts. Stretch it out a little bit. Yes, and here we have also seam allowance 1 centimeter, so just iron it, press it like this. We don't know yet how to do the zipper, so imagine that we attached the zipper here and we can close our skirt. Next, what you have to do, we had two details of our waistband, and I connected them with straight stitch. I didn't go with zigzag, it's not necessary because all these details will be inside. And now we just press it with iron and then press it flat like this. We don't need any extra volume here, so we do it like this. Next step, what we have. Next step, I need to attach waistband to my skirt. So what I have to do, I have a kind of zipper here, so it will be like this, pressed inside the seam allowance. I take my waistband that I prepared and I attach edge of my waistband to the edge of my skirt and pin it. The only thing that I need to have 1 centimeter extra on my waistband here. So I attach it, but if you look from this side, I have 1 centimeter here extra. And I pin it, and I have to pin my waistband around my skirt, and the same extra 1 centimeter I have here. So I pin it like that, and I attach, make sure the edges are together, they are matching. I pin it around and I connect the waistband and the skirt with straight stitch, the same how we did it in the first lesson. So I attached the waistband to the skirt. This is the stitch. The beginning looks like this, just with straight stitch. I didn't go with zigzag, it's not necessary because all this part will be hidden in the waistband. What else I did? I went with zigzag on the top of my waistband. So here I went with zigzag, and I went with zigzag at the bottom of my skirt. We did the same in the first lesson. And next step, we did it also in the first lesson. I need to press seam allowance of my skirt to the top, so it has to be like this. So carefully spread the fabric and I press it. So I pressed seam allowance to the top of my waistband, around, everywhere. And next step I have to finish this side of my waistband. Because I have zipper here and normally you have button here. So what do? We connect waistband beautiful side to beautiful side. Like this. And then make sure that the edges, this one and this one, they are together, they're matching. And I pin my waistband. Next step, we already pressed the seam allowance to the top, so I move it to the top, and here on another side I take a corner and I also fold it like this, so not straight, not like this, but a little bit like this. I hope it's visible. Yeah, if you make it like another, like it can be also like this, so like a corner a little bit. And now I pin this side to make sure it doesn't move. Okay, and now my goal is to go with straight stitch. I kind of continue this line, so I just go straight with back stitch. I'm gonna draw a line so you can see it. So it will be like this. And the same we do with second side. I'm gonna show you again. So beautiful side to beautiful side. I fold it like this. I make sure that edge of my waistband here, they are together, you see, and I pin it here. Next, this part of seam allowance goes on top. On another side I just fold it like this. I make sure that this connection of skirt and waistband, I'm on this spot too. So I pin this part too, and I go with straight stitch. Again, I kind of continue this line where I have my zipper. So I'm gonna draw a line, so I continue like this with back stitch. So I went with straight stitch. I can remove the pins now, and I cut out the seam allowance. So we have to turn inside out this part now, and we don't need a lot of volume, so I leave 2 millimeters next to my stitch. The rest I cut out. And now I turn inside out my waistband, and I can use scissors and to make my corner more like sharp. Okay. And because we did like a corner here, it will look beautiful in here. So now we press it with iron, and I do the same with my second side. I already cut the seam allowance. I turn it inside out, like this. And I press it with iron. Now we need to fold the rest of waistband like this, but we need to know where the top of my waistband here, because if you don't have any marks, you can do like this, you can do like this, it will be not the same waistband everywhere. So our goal is to make it the same height, like 3 centimeters everywhere, or 4 centimeters. It's up to the model, but we have to measure how many centimeters we need and mark it. It's important, otherwise it will not look beautiful. So I have 3 centimeters. I have to mark everywhere 3 centimeters from my stitch connection between waistband and my skirt, and it will be top of my waistband. So I mark everywhere 3 centimeters. Okay. It's not necessary to make a line, but just several marks, and it will be enough to understand. Okay. Now I fold my waistband, so my marks are on the top, like this, and I pin again here at the area of my connection, because we're gonna go with straight stitch here. Again, I pin my waistband. Because I marked, I have everywhere now 3 centimeters. It's equal everywhere. So this is what we want. And now from this side, I have to go with straight stitch between this detail and this detail. So you stretch out the fabric and you try to go really between these two and then your previous stitch. It's not easy, but with experience it will be easier. Back stitch, and then you make the full line and back stitch again. If you need more pins, use more pins. Okay. I want to show you now one situation that can happen to you. For example, I started from the very top and I'm trying to go, but the fabric doesn't move. So because it's a lot of volume here, it's hard to go through all this fabric. So what you can do, you can take the thread that you have on the back and pull for this, and slowly kind of try to pull fabric through this place that has a lot of volume, and now it's easier. So this is the result. I went with straight stitch around. This side looks also nice. We have very beautiful endings on both sides, and again we press everything with iron. To make it flat. And now we have to finish the button only, and the skirt is done. I'm gonna show it again to you. The other thing that I wanted to show you, that imagine that we have zipper here, and normally you need button or hooks here on your waistband, and normally one part is a little bit bigger, so one will be normal like this and the other is bigger. I will show you with another skirt. So this one, the skirt that I also made, so this is the zipper, we will learn it later, and here I have hooks and I have a button. So this side is normal, just straight, and here I have more space. So we will do it in the next lesson, more space for button or hooks. I will show you this too, but the idea is also the same. I did it totally the same way, only I didn't use the zigzag, I used another way of finishing. Okay, and now we have, this is my final result. I pressed the bottom of my skirt, so it's flat. We have two pockets here. We have a straight waistband. It's not perfect that we have here connection, but I didn't have enough fabric. That's why we did it. It's the most visible places. It's not very good to do this, but just for an example, it's okay. And we have an opening for zipper. I also want to show you in this lesson how to make the